Hey guys, Jim back here with you with another video. Thanks for stopping by. As you can see in the thumbnail of the video, we're going to check out this ULSTER BARLOW. Pretty cool little knife I picked up with a group of knives I had bought at an antique store. One of the vendors there I've developed a relationship with. So the cleanup went very well. This one's got a sheep's foot blade on it. Just a sweet little knife that I'm going to carry, but what I'm going to do is I don't do a ton of cleaning videos, but this one sort of walks you through the process. This one turned out so well, just to give you an idea of what I do anyway, which is probably what most of the knife guys in the community do as far as reconditioning a knife, but just a little bit of a change up from what we normally do as far as showing knives and gear here on the channel. So before we do that, I did get a mail call. I've gotten a few mail calls, but wanted to go ahead and show this one. I've gotten an envelope in this past week from Tim North, and a lot of you guys are finding Tim's channel. If you've not already, go check it out. But it's got some cool decals here. The Bearded Knife Guy. He and I have done a sticker swap. Tim is doing some great content over on his channel. Tim, I appreciate these stickers. We're going to get these over on the bonus board, and that one's really cool right there. Told Tim us beard guys are going to have to stick together, right? But anyway, great channel, great content. Check Tim's channel out, The Bearded Knife Guy. I think he is just recently doing a giveaway for 250 subscribers. Great channel, great content, big K-bar guy. And he sent a very nice card. Tim, I appreciate that so much. Best of luck to you. I have a feeling your channel's gonna do very well. Great content, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the videos and everything you've put up so far. But I appreciate that. Go check Tim out, The Bearded Knife Guy. So we're going to give you guys this sort of an overview. It's not the best video footage in the world, trust me, but just as where we're starting and ending with this Barlow, and then hopefully you'll get to see sort of basically a step-by-step process of what I do on reconditioning a knife, and then we'll turn the camera around here and get on the table and lift this thing over. Guys, I appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you just a minute over on the table. Guys, we're going to clean this ULSTER up. The tank stamp was real faint on it, but I did find one. So, like was in the thumbnail and the description, first thing I like to do is, you can see there's a lot of debris, to say the least, in that channel. I like to use like it's like a piece of filler rod, like if you're TIG welding. I like to take something like this, or a sharpened piece of tungsten, and clean those channels out. And then I will soak it in mineral oil to get this bone rehydrated, and then we'll walk it through the different grits of sandpaper I like to do, and then put an edge on it. So there we go, guys. So as you can see, there was quite a bit of lint and different things down in the channel of the ULSTER Barlow. Use this piece of filler rod to get most of that out. So like I said, when I get to this point, I just like to give it a good soak. This knife's really got some good snap to it. Wasn't abused. The blades are still pretty tight. I love the sheep's foot, but you can tell there in the pin blade. This knife is really, I was opening the blades, it's still got a pretty good edge on it. It nicked me just a little. Seems like I can't ever mess with a knife without hardly getting cut, but anyway. So yeah, we're gonna give it a soak in the mineral oil, and then we'll pick back up from there. All right, guys, good morning. It's the next day. So after I soak this Barlow, or this knife, what I like to do is, of course, get it out of the oil. It's really good for the bone and to help loosen up some of this rust that the knife's got on it. We cleaned out the channel really good last night, so that's what I like to do. Let's get everything lubricated up. So like I said, we'll wipe all the oil off this. I usually set mine channels down and let them, I'll probably let this sit most of the day today and drain out, and then come home and we'll go to the next step that I like to do anyway for my knives, guys. Thanks. All right, guys, welcome back. So this knife is basically set all day. You can see we got, like in a previous shot, we got most of the junk out of the channels on the knife, and this one's set and got, I like to let that oil drain. You can still tell there's some on there. So this knife really doesn't have too bad. There's a chip right there, but the bone is really not that bad of shape. I have a feeling it's going to clean up, polish good. We got some rust on the bolsters. We got some rust on the blades. So what I do, like so many guys do, so in the community, the first thing I'm going to do is take my Dremel with a wire brush and get most of this heavy stuff off, and get the blades, get the exposed metal, get all that down, most of the heavy stuff off before we start going through the process of sandpaper. And also, I don't know if you guys ever use these like a mop, almost like a little accessory for your Dremel. I don't remember if this came with my Dremel or if I picked these up at Harbor Freight, but these are good. This one's used quite a bit, you can tell, but to me, where I like to use these is some of the areas that the other brush won't get. These are good to me to get this area where the tang stamps are. You can just, seems like you can press down on that and get those little areas a little cleaner here and here. So I mean, it doesn't fit every application, but these little mops are good to get some of the areas that the wire wheel can't get. So anyway, that'll be what we do next, and after we get that done, we'll get you an update. All right, guys. So we did some wire brushing. We may do a little more, but like I said, it's taken a bunch of the heavy stuff off. I went over it lightly on the bone. That, I believe, is a stain or something hot has gotten on that bone over the years, but hit the pins, took the tool and got the channels a little more, and got the brass, got the back. You can see it starting to shine up pretty good. Got a lot of the heavy stuff off the blade. Some of those areas that had to get my smaller wire brush out there, but yeah, it's really, it's starting to clean up good. I mean, you know, like I said, you can tell there's a lot of heavy stuff on this, which I knew that there would be, but there you can tell there, that's a lot of that is, those are the hard areas to get. So the next step will be to get the sandpaper out and give it the once over with the sandpaper before we, and then maybe do a polish on it before we get the mothers out, and then give it a good once over. So next part of the video we'll have the sandpaper, and I'll just show you what I do as far as that goes. All right, guys, so what I like to do when I sand, this is just what I do. So a lot of people do it differently. I like to go 600, 800, 1000, 2000, and there should be some 3000 in there, and then Then I'll go with some others. But if you're doing a lot of sanding, I encourage you to wear a mask. This one about time to change over, but this is a N95 mask that I wear when I sand. This knife shouldn't be too bad because it's pretty wet or moist anyway, where I've had the mineral in it. But that's what I do. I like to do the blades, the bolsters, the back springs. I just vary. I know the blades will get 600 through 3,000. Other areas I may vary a little bit, but I know the blades for sure. I like to touch up the brass and everything, but that's what we're going to do. Just I had shown you guys what the blades and stuff look like. Hang about video without your tripod in here, but there's what the blades look like, what the bolsters look like before we start doing our sanding. And hopefully that tang stamp will come in. It's very, very, very vague. So anyway, yep, there's what she looks like. We'll give you guys an update after we take it through the 600 through 3,000 grit, get the channels and stuff good, and we'll report back. All right, guys, here we go. So took this thing through the grits. No polish yet. This is as far as I want to take the blades and the bolsters. I could sand and sand and sand, and other than my Dremel, I do all my sanding by hand. I don't have a bench grinder or a belt sander or anything, so I still enjoy doing a lot of it by hand. I like I said, I use my Dremel a little. There's a little oil build up there. But yeah, that got all the sanding done. There's oil in some of these crevices, as y'all know if y'all soak these knives, that take a little bit. The channel turned out good. You know, I did not want to take this knife apart. You can see the bone there. I had some oil on the bone and just did like a wet sand with 3,000 grit. And the pins are nice and shiny now. And the bone, that's some beautiful pocket worn saw cut bone. This is, I believe, is something hot has gotten on that. I'm not doing any more sanding on that. That's just going to be what it is. Carbon back springs. This knife actually, for being as old as it is, and I'll put it up in the description when we go over to the bench. It's pretty old. Hang on just a minute, see if I can. You can actually, I didn't know that you would be able to or not. Hang on just a minute. Okay, live action. So you can barely, okay, maybe right there you can see Ulster. And then under that, Knife USA. Let me see a little bit better there. I'm going to get some pictures and put it in the description. But guys, this is going to be a knife that's going to be carried for sure. There's no very, very little, if any, blade play. The bolsters got pretty clean. Like I said, I'm not sanding or grinding these down any further. They shouldn't keep it oiled. It shouldn't rust anymore. Like I said, I've not put the mothers on it. I think I'm going to put a good coat of mothers on it and then come back to you guys and let you see it. Then we'll be pretty much done with it, other than putting edge on it. So anyway, we'll catch up with you guys. There's the ULSTER Barlow after the mothers. This thing has been a warrior in somebody's pocket. The brass is shined up good. The bone is beautiful. I did the buffing job and then just wiped it off with a shop towel. I'm going to get another cloth and wipe it down. Probably won't use any other type of, probably just a shop towel on this one. Like I said, I'm not trying to get it like super shiny. There's these knives, it seems like these older ones, you'll get oil on the tang and then some of these areas for a while after you clean them up from doing all the buffing and the mineral oil. But yeah, this thing really is looking good. If you go back and look at where we started to where we're at. And I'll have some pictures as well. Let's open it up and get a look at the blades. There's the blades. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I love these vintage older knives that tell a story. I've got a few, mint, but man, these old ones, this is going to sharpen up and definitely be getting some pocket time going into my Barlow collection. So there we go, guys. We'll get this knife over to the bench. Probably go ahead and put an edge on it. Not for sure yet. We may just go ahead and show it and look it over and look at the tang stamp and some befores and afters. We may sharpen it. Anyway, we'll see you over on the table. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed that little overview on restoring a knife, at least the way that I do it here. So as I mentioned before as well, please be sure to check out Brother Tim's channel, the Bearded Knife Guy. Great content. Before we start looking at this Barlow, I did want to show, I was able to go to an antique store and spent some time there, and I'm beginning to get a fondness for these vintage sharpening stones. I found this one at an antique store in Greenville, Tennessee. Carbonundrum, I think that's how you say that. What drew me to this is that advertising. Niagara Falls, New York, with the profile there of an Indian Native American there on the advertisement, and I thought that was cool in this wood box. And the stone had Carbonundrum brand. You can still see, where it says Niagara Falls, New York. I'm not for sure of an age on this. If you guys know, let me know. I'm thinking it's from the 20s or 30s, maybe older. I really don't know. It reminds me of the old Cattaraugus logo, and I've got a few Cattaraugus done a little research. It reminds me of that same era in history. Anyway, I picked one of these up, thought it was pretty neat. I'm just leaving that displayed here on the bench, on the tabletop here. And then I've been picking up, I'm going to try to pan over here on the, there we go. I picked up one of these Prince Albert, I'm not going to take it down, one of these Prince Albert tobacco displays. And I've been looking for one for a while, and found one at a decent price in Greenville, Tennessee, just a different antique store. And these are metal. This is what they would line up all the Prince Albert cans. I've only got 3 of the old timer ones. I had donated one and then got these. I've been looking for that because I just thought it'd be cool to show. And the guy, he threw in some of these old papers, which is pretty cool if you're into this, some of this older antique things like I am. It seems like I get more and more into that, finding old stuff like that. And he threw in, they're pretty rough condition, but still, nevertheless, I was appreciative to get them. This one's not too bad, but he threw in a couple extra older. This one's like it's got tobacco or something still in it. That other one, it's pretty, I don't even know if I can get it open without destroying it. It's rusted up pretty good. But anyway, it was just pretty cool. I'm always looking for stuff like that, guys, and just odds and ends. And I thought that was a cool display to show those tobacco cans. And if you can find those, pick them up. They're still out there. They're harder and harder to find, the old timer ones. So anyway, back to the knives. So appreciate y'all coming by. So this is, before I look at this, I wanted to show you, and I'll put a picture of this one. The reason I wanted to show this, because it was in not as bad a shape as the Barlow, but this one was in, man, it's got some snap. Still, it was in pretty rough shape. I got this knife from the same vendor as I got this knife. I bought 5 knives altogether, and I was so happy to see. I think that's a 20 to 30 tang stamp. I've shown this on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube on a post. I've toted this one. There is a little bit of separation here from the scale, but everywhere else it's pinned pretty good on this side. A little bit there. I'm thinking from a 20 to 30 tang stamp, it's just shrunk. May have been wet and dried, but overall the handles are really in good shape. I mean, I'm not going to mess with repinning it or doing anything. Eventually, I may have somebody repin it, but I didn't want to take a chance on cracking the wood. The wood was in such good shape, I left it. Now, it wasn't as in good a shape when I got it. So, a lot of sanding, a lot of polishing, hand sanding to get this one done. Got the channel cleaned out pretty good. This thing has got a wicked edge. I mean, it's just razor sharp. I didn't want to do anything else with the point. But yeah, this is going to be carried. I don't know if I'll put a lanyard on it or not. I may just leave it as the way it is. But I redid the handles. I sanded those down with 2 or 3 different grits. Got the old oils and junk off of it. And then I'd never done this, and maybe you guys have, but I had some boiled linseed oil. Took some linseed oil after I sanded this down good and reapplied linseed, a couple applications of linseed oil, and then let that sit, and then wiped it off. Got the pins polished out. That wood just turned, I don't know if you guys know what type of, if that's Coca-Cola wood or I don't know. If you guys know what type of wood that is on these old queens, put it down in the comments. So yeah, it's strong half stop, strong snap. We all know about that queen snap. Definitely, I'm very happy to have that old hawk bill. So, and like I said, I'll try to get a picture in here of what it looked like before, but here we go. So this is it. This is the ULSTER Barlow. I am thinking 30s to 40s, and I've tried to do some research on this. The reason I think that is, a lot of the ones I've seen from the 50s or 60s say ULSTER Barlow here, some type of a logo that's engraved. And these bolsters are smooth. Now, I may be wrong. I'm likely wrong because I don't know a whole lot about dating these ULSTER knives. So if you know, I think it's a model 12. Someone had put a comment in one of my previous videos when I'd shown it, when I picked it up, that it thought it was a 12. So, and it does, you can barely make the tang stamp out. It says ULSTER on the top, then it says Knife USA. So like it'll say ULSTER, and then right under that, Knife USA right under that. So I've seen so many different dates on these as far as dating that, but here again, several reasons this knife, before I even knew it was an ULSTER, it stuck out to me. I love the bone. It's not the crimped on handles, it's pinned bone, saw cut, pocket worn. The bone didn't have too many cracks in it. There's like one there, and I really think that's it. And there was a chip out of it there, probably where it's been dropped. And the sheep's foot. I've got another sheep's foot Barlow. It's an Imperial that I've carried some with the plastic handles. But that thing, it's got a little bit of a half stop right there, and then it closes. And the pin blade has no half stop at all. I mean, it's just all open or all closed. And it was in, by far, as far as the rust, the worst shape, as you can tell from the video and then from the befores and afters. And great snap for, you know, anywhere from a 70 to 80-year-old pocket knife, 60 to 80-year-old, maybe older. If you guys know the approximate age, put it on there. But and it's sharp. You know, it's got good walk and talk. Very little blade play in the blade. You know, no real. There is a little bit of detent in that spring right there when it's open, but I don't care. I'm going to carry it. The channels, as you can see from that video, there was a ton of lint and junk down in there and a lot of rust. I got most of that out. It's hard to really see that there from that angle, but got most of that out. Oiled it good. It's had done the mineral oil soak. And this is just a great Barlow. I'm definitely going to carry this one. Got both of the blades really sharp. It's got a great edge. I'm thinking that might be an imperfection in the bone. If it is, let me know. But I'm thinking that might be where the previous owner or owners, one of the owners, had got up against something and maybe had burned that a little bit right there and left that imperfection in the bone. The bone's really in pretty good shape. I sanded the bone, had gone back over it, I think, with some 3000 and got quite a bit. Wasn't trying, not a ton of pressure, just trying to get any heavy grease or dirt or anything just from being handled off, and then re-oiled it, and then did a mother's application on it and buffed it. And I will probably go back and put some of Brother Mickey's Fix-Em wax on that as well. But guys, it's not perfect, but it's an old knife, and it's going to be carried, and I'm happy to have it. Try to get another look at that Tang stamp. Like I said, Ulster, and then under that knife, USA, if you can see that. But anyway, if you guys know a better approximate age on that, let me know. It does have brass liners, brass pins, so I'm thinking it may not be a wartime era knife. So I really don't know, guys. On these, I couldn't really find a good date chart or anything. I just tried to find some examples. But yeah, we're happy to have this. You know, as far as any kind of dimensions, I picked up this little tape measure at that flea market for a couple bucks, a little pal. And the lady said, it's made in the USA. You don't see that anymore. And I said, yes, ma'am, I agree. You don't see that anymore. So, you know, why I've got this tape measure laying here, I mean, just to give you an idea, about 3 3/8, 5/16 maybe. If I can see that tape measure good through the camera. Yeah, about 3 5/16. So yeah, it's a perfect little pocket dropper, pocket knife. If you wanted to carry it, I've got a Stephen Jeffrey slip here that it could definitely ride good in that, or just drop it in the pocket. Like I said, I really love sheep's foot, and I don't see a ton of Barlows with sheep's foot. There's a give you try to make sure I got all the. Give you guys another look at that beautiful knife. Some saw cut pocket worn bone, steel bolster. That may have been plated at one time, not for sure. Look at the sheep's foot again. Beautiful example of an old classic pattern pocket knife for sure. Pin blade. There we go. ULSTER Barlow. Guys, I appreciate y'all coming by. I appreciate all the support of the channel. We are continuing to gain some more subscribers, and I'm always appreciative of that, and appreciate the good comments and the feedback that we get. So appreciate you stopping by, and just remember today, whatever you're carrying, you don't have to carry alone. Whether it be a good old pocket knife, a Zippo lighter, a tape measure, he's always there to help us. He'll bear our burdens if we just trust in him. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you on the next video.